I already have the door panel off, but it's pretty easy. There's this little cover right here, covers the mirror, and it literally just pops off with a screwdriver, just a flat screwdriver. There's 3 little pins in the back that pop into rubber grommets. That pops off. You can practically do it by hand. And then there is a little piece here that goes behind the door lever. You see there's a little thing on top where you can stick a flat screwdriver, and that just pries out of there. You pull the handle out a little bit, and then you can pop that out, and then there's a screw behind that. And then the other one, because there's 2 more screws, there's going to be a screw down in here, and there's going to be a screw up in here. This trim piece is just held on by a couple clips, and that literally, like, I pulled one off by hand, but it's sitting there, and you literally can just grab it and just pull it out, or if you need the help, you can pry it with the flat screwdriver also. So once those are off, pop these out, and then on the back you have these little trim clips all along the bottom, like here. They're all around the outside. You can start on the side and work your way around with a trim tool, or I actually use this, I don't have an actual trim tool, but I use this little crowbar, which is like for nails and things, but you can kind of just go to where you feel a tight spot and then pry on the tight spot, because that's where a clip is, and then it'll pop out. And then then there's a hidden one kind of up here, which is towards the mirror, but if you pull like in this area by the mirror, you can pop that out, and then the whole panel will come off. There are 2 connectors here. So you have this one for the door, which goes in the very bottom. Push on this tab, push it down, and it'll pop out of the light, which is in the bottom here, very bottom of the door. And then this is your main switch connector. Same thing, there's a tab you can push in and just wiggle it, and it'll come out of the bottom of this switch here. I already replaced this switch because I thought this was what my problem was, but I think my motor already burned out because the switch is stuck. As you can see with my old switch, the switch does not stay in position anymore. See how it stays up or it stays down? It just doesn't go back. You can see the good switch will return like normal, but this one just goes down. So basically that'll burn out your motor. I forgot this too. You have your little cables. That's the last thing. Cables, there's literally a little door here. So you just pop this open, it's just a little clip door, and you can see maybe there are little spots. There's a bigger hole where one cable goes in there, and it literally just, the cable drops down and then pivots to the side, and then they just snap in and out of these little detent spots here in the panel right there. So you can just pull those out by hand and then rotate them and pull them up. Bigger ball, and then the other cable has a smaller ball. The one with the white will be on the top, but you can't really mess them up because they're different sizes. So, and then you have a connector here. Another video is telling you to take off the speaker and that speaker and the mirror and all this junk, and I don't know why, but it's unnecessary because I just pulled one off at pick and pull without doing any of that. This should be way easier. So you just pull this out, pull your cables out of the way, pull your plug out of the way, pull to about here, and then you have an access panel in the bottom. You can use a flat screwdriver to pop these little tabs. And then you've got just a little access panel door. There's 4 10mm head bolts here, and that's where your whole assembly is mounted, and your motor is mounted here to that whole actuator assembly. And then there's 2 more nuts here that are 10mm that actually hold one of the guides. This piece here is the one that is sitting right in here. So it's sitting kind of like this in there. And my window was stuck up just like the one at Pick and Pull was, because I didn't have the key, obviously. Since my window is stuck up because the motor does not work, this is what I had to do. If you loosen the actuator mechanism here, you can actually, if you hold the window, you can then lower it, because this will move, and you can get access to, there's like a bolt hidden here, and then there's one somewhere around in here. and you can get those off and then kind of tweak the window and it'll jam and it'll stay, and then you can work this whole thing out, this hole, so you don't need the motor itself. So the bottom ones first. Top here. And now this should move. Kind of give it a wiggle because it's still in the tracks. There, rotated down, and I can see now I can see this one here. There's a little stud off the window that goes through this hole and this hole, and there's a 10mm nut on each one. It's helpful to use one of these little ratchet wrenches. So I got in there like this. Loose. I did not take these off yet because it's still kind of holding the window in place, and those are easy to get to. So it's loose now. Then I can also get to this one, which you can get. I think I got it through with a socket through this hole. Another one. You can do it either way. Move it around to where you can reach it. Doesn't really matter. Work that one out. Now we can pop these off. Again, probably want to hold the window just in case. Not really anything holding it right now. Alright, so now everything is out. So we can wiggle this off. And then see if the window is going to stay in place by itself. It may. So that's kind of jammed in the guide, so it'll stay there. Hopefully. Entire thing. Now the fun of trying to get the new one back in there. Hooray! Well, that should be it. Assembly is obviously reversing what I just did. It should work, and hopefully it's simpler than you thought it might have been. And hopefully this will fix my problem. This is technically not a moto video, but to make it moto, check out my beautiful Gixxer that I finally finished. She looks brand new again.